Diddy's lawyers want to erase a bombshell moment from Kid Cudi's testimony. I mean, literally erase it. They're asking the judge to throw out Cudi's claim that Diddy firebombed his Porsche over Cassie.
He doesn't have any evidence of that, so I mean, right? Like,
let me just run through the story real quick just to show people. I want to be fully journalistic here. Take a look at these images that were submitted into evidence. Again, I'm not making any judgments about whether he's right or wrong. I just want to show you the images that were submitted into evidence. This was the car seat. Boom. This is the door. I mean, something was definitely blown up, obviously. Oh. Government Exhibit 3F105. We don't know who did it. I'm not making any allegations. I don't know nothing. It was by the time he was done.
I'm about to say.
He was like, take that. He was a legend. Anyway, last week, Cudi told the court that he knew Diddy was behind the 2012 Molotov cocktail attack on his car. But when pressed, he admitted that there were no witnesses, there was no proof, no fingerprints, just a gut feeling and a memory of Diddy allegedly apologizing years later. Now Diddy's legal team is begging the court to cut that from the record, calling it unfair and irrelevant. Meanwhile, Diddy may be locked up. We know that. But his money still flying. Literally, I mean, listen, the U.S. Sun says that he's been renting out his $60 million private jet on the low since last September. The jet's been booked over 120 times. It's racked up close to 150,000 miles and stacking more than $4 million in cash. So even behind bars, Diddy is still building wealth. But he's also trying to burn Cudi's firebomb story out of the courtroom before it sets his case on fire. So there's two pieces there. The first piece that I want to get is maybe even three. First piece, of course, is Diddy's ask unreasonable? I, as much as I find Diddy's allegations disgusting and deplorable, it doesn't seem like there's any evidence that he blew up the car.
When he first did it, I sort of thought, like, this sounds like speculation. Like, why was this not stricken immediately? Why wasn't there objection? Like, that's here, like, there's no basis for this. You just said I'm sure he did it.
Right. I mean, in fairness, he said that Diddy apologized to him for blowing up his car. So that's where I guess it becomes not hearsay. Right. Because it's not like...
He said he vaguely remembers him saying that
That's the part that's weird to me. The whole Cudi thing... Let me be clear. I think Diddy blew up his car. I
absolutely think he did that. Like, I mean...
Right.
Yeah.
And Cassie's testimony.
I don't understand how it even proceeded. I don't understand why they even let it get this far, and then they're trying to I don't.
Yeah, it seems like nobody thinks he didn't do it. I think the question, but and I love this community because we're all like, yeah, he did it, most likely, but like the rules still have to be fair. Not because we want to protect Diddy.
Talk about. Like, I mean, just because we don't like something or just somebody's a terrible person too, there's a way that we still have to adhere to. You know, the process, because otherwise I can say, like, I think a lot of people did shit. Like, like this whole thing. Right. To me, the B&E, like, you just came up in my home and also in the dog and everything. Like, I mean,
locked the dog in the bathroom. And then at some point he allegedly blackmailed his mom and made the mom like sign over the deed to the house and then like extorted 20.
Wait, what?
Yeah, allegedly he threatened to expose Cassie on a sex tape unless his mom coughed up the bread. And at one point, I think she signed over the deed to the house.
Wait, why? Wait, did he do this?
Yeah.
To Cassie's mom?
Yeah.
Why would she care? He care about money.
It's never about money.
Right. It's about power.
That's the point. That's what made it sound sicker.
Because I'm like, why would he care about her little house? I'm sure she doesn't have a house that's comparable to anything that he has.
And at one point, he asked she coughed up $20,000. I mean, can you imagine, like?
So wait, this woman paid Sean Combs $20,000?
Yeah. Allegedly. Here's a piece from the New York Post, excuse me, just there. And other people have reported this, so don't trust. It's not. I'm not saying because it was in the Post. It's just the first thing that came up. But Diddy demanded Cassie Ventura pay him $20,000 and threatened to release explicit freak-off videos of her in a jealous rage over her relationship with Kid Cudi. That's what his mother testified. last Tuesday. The revelation came out as the singer's mom, Regina Ventura, took the stand and detailed how she and her husband took out a home equity loan to pay the music mogul's outrageous ultimatum.
That is disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's their side. Diddy has his own side. I doubt he'll take the stand, but
the interesting thing is there's got to be some paper trail of that.
Well, there is, but the issue is Diddy says, because there's always a reason.
Because why would they ever need to give to this man $20,000?
Right. He said that he did it to recoup money he spent on Cassie. That was the argument that he made, or that they say he made. Again, we'll find out what really happened. If Diddy ever testified, or not what really happened. We'll understand what his version is, what his real version is, but we don't know. We do know that the mom transferred the money to a Bad Boy Records account. And then the sum ended up getting returned in 4 or 5 days. Because of course, again, it's not about, well, one, if you want her back, you can't extort her mom, and two, like, he probably didn't want that shit in his account. So we know the money was transferred. The only question is like the why of it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's 4 days,
and it's noteworthy that they didn't cross-examine the mom after that testimony. They let that rock, because what could they say? So this Diddy thing is wild, but we still don't want that part to happen. I guess there's and I don't care so much that he's renting out his jet and making money while he's in prison. I not because I care about Diddy, but because
from an environmental standpoint, I care about those jets.
Yeah,
like
the jet thing is awful.
This is a private jet problem, but
right. But if any one of us had a business or something that we could make money off while we're incarcerated, particularly if we didn't do it, I'm always thinking about what if the person didn't do it. You know, and how could their rights be protected? But the Cudi blowing up, it's
because also I wonder, the other thing about these apologies too, I wonder what he actually said in that apology, because he also could have been one of those apologies where he alludes to something where it's like we both know what we're talking about, but did he actually explicitly say that? Because again, that's just not gonna work.
I think Diddy was assuming that if he did apologize explicitly, he assumed this is all like no one's going to the police, and that Cudi would, after you blow somebody's car and hide their dog, you probably not telling, right? You probably like, look, let's just
about that.
right.
I got you. Shut up.
I have so many thoughts about Diddy in this case. One of them is, how wild is it sort of that Diddy has become the villain? I mean, I just remember 25 years ago, if not 30 years ago, listening to Diddy or listening to Biggie and, you know, Craig Mack and everybody. And Puff was the skinny one. He was the corny one. He was the quiet one. He was the weird one. He was the hustler. He was, you know, then he's had all these iterations.
Right. Because then he moved from that to be like the dude that basically everyone said didn't produce and bought everybody's beats. But he also, like, I remember, like, in terms of like the locks, it's like, oh, this dude really does terrible contracts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he gives people terrible, unfair contracts. And then we all kind of fell in love again with him, you know, in making the band.
Making the band change the game.
Making the band, we were like, oh, he was cool. He was funny. Like, we were like, oh, this dude's the worst, but like in the best way. Like, it just, it was, and then to also think about what was going on behind all those things. I mean, all those people, you know, like, again, like this is a crazy thing that Mark, I've told you, but I remember when I was out of college, I was like, my dream job was like, oh, I would love to work with Daddy's House.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Diddy's house, but it's Daddy's house. Like, that was my dream. I was like, I get to do nonprofit work for me, but like in a cool, like, you know, hip hop setting. Like, I was like, that is the dream job. What a nightmare of a life I would have probably had. Like, just imagine, like, now you just sort of picture everyone just being, I don't know, being assaulted and doing it right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much awful stuff happening there.
Maybe because, sorry, I see somebody say maybe because of the Howard thing too, like the hazing of that whole thing, I just found humorous, which was probably not good. But like, you know, like we were just like, oh, he's just hazing the shit out of him. Like, it was yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Diddy was the commencement speaker at Howard, was he not?
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. What?
Let me tell you something about Howard people. They will claim everybody who went to Howard. And that's the same thing Central High School people say about Bill Cosby now. They used to claim him all day. Now they be like, yeah, he went to Germany. He graduated from Germantown.
Oh, he left? I didn't realize that.
Bill Cosby leaves everything. He left Temple, didn't graduate. Then they gave him a degree on life experience. Bill Cosby. That's it. Did he?
No, you said Bill Cosby, but he left. I didn't realize he left Temple too.
No, he didn't finish Temple. They gave him a degree based on life experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of life experiences and get degrees for those.
In word. Sealand said, what does Mace say? Mace ain't saying much. Mace brings up the popcorn every once in a while, but for the most part.
Mace actually has a platform to talk about this right in the moment. It's true. What is Mace? Yeah. Gang, man.
Yeah, Mace is laying low, and I don't know why. There's a million reasons. You could speculate why. It could be legal, it could be personal, it could be spiritual. There's a lot of things going on with Mace, sort of how he thinks about the world. But I think he just doesn't want to be at the crosshairs of any of this. I think he just wants to watch this play out. I think at some point you will hear from Mace.
Yeah, because has Mace said anything in terms of like
when Diddy got arrested, he kind of.
I mean, like he was in the mix. Like, I mean,
he was and he wasn't. I mean, this is the good thing about. I mean, because Mace was there in the mid-90s. He blows up obviously in '98 after Big dies, and then by 99, 2000, he was gone again. He was in Atlanta. By the time Double Up came out,
it didn't take long. I mean, that's still a long time.
I'm saying he saw something, but he doesn't have. He's not like one of the people that's around for a decade or 10. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think he could. All I'm saying is he has plausible deniability. He could be like, I ain't see nothing. I made my record and left. And I think that's probably best for everybody.
I think it's a little bit easier for somebody who wasn't his like I mean, they were making songs to get like it felt like his main man for some years. You know what I'm saying? Like you were at the parties, like, and again, so something we were talking about last night too, in terms of everybody was at parties, right? Like they were different levels of the party. I was not, but right. I don't judge everybody who was at those parties either. Like, I have friends who were at those parties, and they weren't all like, their levels. I imagine. And
that's the problem with the word Diddy party now. Diddy party now. Like, first of all, most Diddy parties happen at clubs and other big spaces, and everybody in the city. When Puff came to Philly, Big came to Philly, whoever, Lil Kim came, like there was a Diddy party. Diddy parties are the best parties in the world in the 90s and aughts. Then there's the crib party, like the Hamptons parties, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the after party,
right?
And then there's the after party.
After party.
So going to a Diddy party isn't the issue. It's for some people they made it to those next levels. I don't know who did and who didn't. That's not for me to say, but there are just different levels to it. But now there's such a stank on
the idea.
People don't even want to say they won't act like they never seen the man before.
Like, did he?
I ain't even heard Ready to Die.
Right. Right.
It's like,
I'm sorry. Like, what?
And the other thing is, there were a lot of people there who were at all levels of the parties who we would be surprised to know or wouldn't be surprised to know, but they don't want to be outed either. So everybody's kind of laying low and not saying a word. The silence on this is shocking.
I was just thinking too the other day about just, for those of us who are 90s hip hop heads and man, it's just like everybody's just such trash. It's like we just can't enjoy. I mean, just from obviously there's the horrific sort of side of it, but just as a personal social side, like the music that, like All About the Benjamins was like our graduation song. And I was also song that kind of a very long life that, was starting Howard. It's just like, it's sort of being stripped of things that were really meaningful for us musically.
For sure.
And it's just like, I'm like, oh God, nobody else. But R. Kelly wasn't as hard as I thought it would be to sort of completely remove him from all music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I guess I didn't love Step to the Name of Love that much. Like, there's a way, with Black folks, having that, at social, particularly family events, but there's a way that, the 90s hop is hard in a different kind of way.